gonna be a brawl. I think similar to what we saw on Inferno, but that's as far as I can go in terms of predictions, Mike, because this really is anyone's series. Fur gonna get first contact here towards Fountain and decides to completely fall off of it, doesn't want to be too aggressive, and the rest of his team was stacked up towards B expecting a quick push, but with First spotting out that info, at least a little bit of it, they're probably gonna disperse and guard the sites a little more evenly here, Mike.
They've withdrawn way far back. They've got this push outside of construction, so they're going to go very passive on towards A, knowing that they can rotate if the construction players spot anything. But there's the first dink. TeamOne's been good on the pistols. They've had good starts, particularly on Inferno. That got them a lot, but this time it's Cello to start the party. And, well, he's looking for a little bit more of a celebration. Not for long, though. Back by the dice box. Here comes the flank. Vinny up on it. Now they know they're under pressure. TeamOne need to fight forward, but Maluk does exactly that. 2 big kills to find, and that might just guarantee them a bomb plant. It does indeed go down, and they don't want to let Bolts off the hook just yet. They haven't found him, but they got a pretty good idea of where he's playing from still. Bolts punishes them for trying to clear him. Here we go, Bolts! Not able to finish it off, but he's giving Vinny a prime chance here. Vinny pulled off of the bomb. He's just chasing. They're trying to buy time. He doesn't have a kit. And he's swapping around on the guns, looking for the one-shot headshot machine. 9 bullets in this USP. 8 make it that. He's chasing this kill down. He can find it eventually, but time is of the essence. He no longer has the clock for one more tap just to try and draw in another kill, and that won't even be something he can find.
Very well played by TeamOne in the post plant, not over-aggressing on the final players, biding their time, letting time burn off of that bomb, and of course, no kit to help out the Imperial side there. Another pistol round goes the way of TeamOne. Both pistols, in fact, on Inferno did, and now that's 3 in a row.
Nothing like giving yourself a hot start to bolster their confidence into a map. It is going to be a force buy up for Imperial. There's a scout for Fallen. Pistols abound. We have seen that scout have impact. Haven't necessarily seen it come through for a round for Imperial just yet. But there's a first time for everything in a series, and this would be a good time to find that.
Yeah.
You got to imagine Imperial spirits were a bit blunted after that last one. Such a heroic effort from Fallen to get them into overtime, to keep them alive in overtime, and yet they couldn't put together a full round.
Just too many rounds that they had to fight back off of, too many map points that TeamOne had to work with at the end of the day. That was the difference maker, really.
And so, frustrated, they couldn't close things on Inferno. For Imperial, it's about having that heart of the champions, right? These are players who are well-tested, battle-hardened, tons of experience. Can they do it again? Can they change their own fortunes? And keep fighting here. 4 players on the A site. They got the numbers, John. And now we're about to get the hit.
They do. Let's see. Imperial. Chance to strike back immediately after losing the pistol, but a great peek from Pesa gets him 1 and the second. There we go. Entry found for TeamOne. Oh, hold the phone. Fair gets 1, and that's it. TRK gets things under control. Vinny trying to sneak onto the site, but now they know exactly where he's located. Likely going to isolate the position, and they do exactly that. Only Bolts left now, and he will likely get overloaded. There we have it. TeamOne, pretty straightforward victory in round number 2.
I always get nervous when teams are executing against pistols with that little time left on the clock. I think there were 18 seconds by the time the final kill comes through, and that's exactly what Imperial were trying to punish. That's why they kept trying to fly into the fight. If they could drop the plant, if they could put the bomb in an inopportune position, could have been all the difference. But the critical kills don't come through, and ultimately, it's a wash. This round, most likely also going to be a wash.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. We'll see. Things get weird.
Imperial have won some strange rounds, some strange buy-ups, if you recall.
4 stack going in towards connector here. But if they just rock through Monster like it looks like they want to, well, it's only going to be Cello who actually matters. And that's what they've done. Foothold found. Utility starting to sail in. Cello dancing around the pillar. I think he's been spotted. There it is. TRK realizes what he's found. And that's going to be clean. Mobs is a little isolated. There's a chance they can get a Galil out of this one. But it's not a chance that Mobs is interested in entertaining. 4 kills on there. Nice bit of spray control with the Galil.
Yeah, we saw mobs activating towards the latter part of Inferno, which was a key piece, of course, to their victory on the map. And now he's able to get going early. That's a great sign for them in particular on their T side. But another player who has been the difference maker, of course, for this TeamOne side. I've talked about him a lot, but IDK, 25 frags in the first map, 34 on the second map. He's already gotten to 60 now because he has that one here. So unbelievable performance from him. We know that he loves to play on LAN. His best performances happen in this type of situation.
It's been interesting as well to see him. He's sitting center for the team now. He's been very vocal during their timeouts. I think he may have actually taken over, if not all of calling them, the good chunk of it. It's interesting to see that evolution.
Oh.
Fallen punishing IDK for trying to take a little bit of lawn control.
How dare he?
How dare he? Fallen's long control? Not in this round. Not here. Not now.
Flash gonna get tossed by Maluk on forward. It does blind both Fallen and Fair, but briefly. And that was just to try and keep Imperial in that position because TeamOne are going to get a full-on rotate back towards the B site. They are a man down. They're going to have to fight their way back into this one, and a frag off the docket here on the XQ would help immensely. Vinny and Bolt stacked up here, waiting for exactly that to come to fruition. And there's the flashbang charging through, but the Molotov keeps them at bay, and now Bolt is going to feast for one, maybe a second. Not yet, but TeamOne are in a very tough spot.
Great usage of the util so far.
Yeah.
The one advantage for TeamOne is, well, the util from Imperial is gone. The problem is, it's kind of also gone from TeamOne. They got some nades. They have a Molotov. Could chuck the nades to check the boost spot, but 30 seconds. They're rotating around. Is this a save?
It's a save.
This is a save call. Oh, well, that's nice and conservative. They will have a buy in the next, provided they save these guns through, and especially with the AWP, TeamOne's just going to punt.
I don't mind it. With this much money left in the bank for every player, I mean, just keep the guns, make the investment a little lighter in the following round. The loss bonus isn't that much to speak of. In fact, only 1,400. So, yeah, go for the save. It's the right call in this situation. They didn't gain any ground, and there was really no path forward, at least in their minds, to victory.
So here we go. A round with full gun survival for Imperial. Has to be making them feel a little good, but it's not celebration time just yet. It's conversation time, it seems. As they're keeping themselves calm, they're keeping themselves measured, they're keeping themselves collected, knowing that any lead, any advantage, as we've seen on Inferno, can quickly drip away. Oh, look at this light presence towards A. There's so much space for Maluk to find. And if Fer goes down to connector, there's no one who can even adjust. He has to bail. He has to bail. He hasn't been caught, but he's so low, and he knows it. He knows he's the only one here. Cello trying to move up to adjust to that fact. If he had died there, that would have been catastrophic for Imperial's setup.
Does stay alive, just barely limping along with 9 HP, and now Malb's gonna take control of connector. TeamOne spread out across the map, just trying to find that opening frag, and Fallen has pushed himself up to the sandbags and is peering on into Squeaky. Wants to find that frag, but no one has peered out just yet. TeamOne are really taking their time. Fallen going to drop some utility for his teammates. And Malbs now works his way into construction. Reinforcements are going to come through to support his push. Flashbangs are going to be tossed very shortly. And here they go. Malbs tossing one in. And the spam is coming through. Fallen going to be tested. No, he's flashed out, but it's Vinny over at Canal to get one. Bolts with him as well. They just didn't expect that much presence there. TRK does get one response to make it a 4v3, but Bolts is just dancing around here, dodging the bullets, finding the frags. Maybe a third on the docket as well, but not yet. IDK surviving. There it is. Bolts with the 3K. Maluk the last one standing, and with only 24 seconds left, there's not much he can do.
This might actually turn into another save.
Yep.
It's actually fine if they do. He's got money spare. So they'll be all right, but this is really disappointing. They have not really been able to dig into that CT side at all in the last 2 rounds. Completely blank since the guns have come out.
It's really scary for TeamOne, right? Because you get the pistol round, you get the following too, but they haven't, as you mentioned, been able to even pierce through this defense. Every time they poke, they get rebuffed, and they're not assertive enough on their takes to continue fighting it. They are losing the battles.
Early days still.
Yes.
Plenty of time to course correct. But yes. Definitely some concerns starting to form there. definitely going to be some thoughts entering their mind. This round, they're not going to invest around the AWP, just pick up some upgraded pistols, keep that economy going. It's the smart call.
Yeah.
But, as we've seen before in pistol rounds with this team, if Maluk could create something early on, and he's going to go try and take a duel with Fallen, well, this could get interesting. Fallen focused up on the position. Maluk looking for a run boost. There it is. The shot hits. Maluk catches him before Fallen can get off of the planter. That's a massive pick to find early on. That is so much space taken as well. It's going to spread the defense out for Imperial. They bring a second player up. Cello now fighting forward with Fur as they take space outside the bathrooms to try and adjust, to try and compensate for the loss of Long. A second op's going to be picked up as well eventually. This is going to get interesting.
Yeah. Mob's going to pick that op up. He's going to lead the charge in, not with the op, but with the deagle. Flashbang going to get tossed. Pop flash. He actually drops the op for his teammates. The right play. He's really solid with that deag. And now Cello exposed and will go down. Fair gets the trade. Bolts gets more. 3v3. But look how low Fur is. He has to win this fight. And he goes past it, in fact. TRK has no idea Fur's going to be here. Oh, he puts away the utility.
He didn't hear the pin.
Yeah.
He didn't hear the pin. Didn't realize what he had.
He gets it.
Oh, no. And now Fur getting so much damage as that flank has now come through. It's just left to Pesa. That op. Fallen's op, but a flank. And he is shot down in the back. My goodness. That got so hairy. Cello realizing the panic Fur was going through. But they just couldn't figure it out in time.
Oh, man. He's just like taking out the utility, putting it away, taking it out again. He just wanted to get his gun so he could fire away, and eventually he does find it. But you're right. I'm surprised he didn't hear the pin pull. And the space that TeamOne gained, for all intents and purposes, that should have been a much better take than it ended up being. And of course, they were a little light in terms of armor and hardware. But yeah, Imperial, 3 in a row. Struck on back. And now TeamOne are going for a very straightforward vanilla take of the B site, and it works! Mulb's the tip of the spear with the MAC-10, not the opening frag, though. He gets the second after Pesa. This is going to be a bomb plant, and Imperial, well, they should be able to fight back into this one a little bit.
Now, part of it is as well is they've been feeling out the position so far for Imperial, and what they've noticed is...
Oh, they're far away, Mike.
I mean, you have Fallen playing long. Fur comes up in towards B, plays towards the bathrooms, gets in towards connector, and then Cello as well is one of the quick ones to rotate up, right? So that leaves Vinny and Bolts down towards B, and well, with the fast hit, if Imperial is setting something up towards long, if they're doing anything towards the A side of the map, you know it's going to be light presence. And indeed it is. So TeamOne, a heck of a way to crack through a gun round. And after the very expensive one, they almost made in the last.
Yeah.
They did make in the last. Well, Imperial up for the save.
Just got to keep it simple sometimes, honestly. I think TeamOne were overthinking things. They really weren't getting as aggressive as they possibly could have towards both bomb sites. And this time they say, you know what, let's just go in. You got the MAC-10 leading the charge. You got an AK as well. And it works for them quite fantastically, actually, as they're going to retake the lead 4-3 in favor of them. And to be honest with you, Mike, 4 rounds T-side, already pretty good. It's kind of trending in their favor. We'll see.
Yeah, you want to get up.
You want to get more. You want to get more.
A lot more when you get pistol, especially.
It's just the trend right now for TeamOne is pretty good.
Yeah, if they can keep this messy, if they can keep these back and forth.
Yeah.
Maybe keep that pace of play up. It looks like they're trying to go for a similar play, this time in towards construction. And, well, the adjustment has come through from Imperial. They've got reinforcements. Cello is down here initially. And there's a player in Fur in towards connector. Molotov going to make him uncomfortable.
Very.
It doesn't spread back enough to actually matter, but it will keep him focused up on this angle, and this seems like it's going to be the straightforward B take. They're in off of construction, heavy presence here, but who's going to get the kills? Flashbangs are good. The first kill goes the other way, and it's trades. Even so far, Cello, the reinforcement, the backstop, the insurance policy, the third player who was through will only make it a 2v2, and Maluk. Oh, the smoke came up just in time. The nade could have it. The HE does. Goodbye, Maluk. IEK, a minute to play with, but still a bomb to put down. He'll be able to retrieve that at the very least. Could fight forward. Likes not to. Plant with the information that he knows. Knowing where both players are. 9 bullets in the gun. That's all he'll have to try and finish off Fur. And Fur's coming into the angle. He's into the fight, but Fur's got it. Crouching through, finding the shot and the defuse as well. Clutch. Not realized there for IDK.
Yeah, close, but no cigar on the TeamOne side. Still another very straightforward take of the B site. The players funneling in from sandbags and construction this time. And at least they get a bomb plant out of it, but Cello's so important that he finds that frag before getting dropped, and he does exactly that, making the retake a lot more viable for the last two players standing here on this Imperial side. You're probably going to see it again. Bolts with 2K, but this is where it's critical, right? He gets that third and makes it a lot softer on the post-plant retake. Fist bumps around there. Imperial tying this up
some
once
relief
more.
in that one too.
Yeah, definitely. And their economy's not too bad either. It's a little bit sloppy on some players, but TeamOne have kept them honest.
That they have. Fallen. A new position for it. Peering over for the Fountain Peak, wary of what could be lurking in the playground. Not about the slides. Doesn't trust them. To be fair. Some of those playgrounds, especially the one here, a little sketch. A little rusty,
just,
you know?
Just a tad.
Just got to be up on your tetanus shots.
Yeah.
So that space has been allowed. That initial ground is starting to be taken here by TeamOne. But the change up here is that Fallen is in towards the bathroom, so it is a bit of a different look here. Different set of defenders. TeamOne, though, not seeing anything towards long. They will happily take this space, and they're starting to find a lot of ground. That brings Cello up. It's 3 players towards A. Imperial have done a good job of putting numbers on the right site. They got a boost up by Sign and a little info hop in the back from Fallen. Angle held. It's a good setup. It's a good setup for Imperial. Utility can push them off, but with 40 seconds, TeamOne's going to have to start to make a move, and Maluk's now down, done, and dusted. That drops the bomb as well. Fallen peers back in. That would have been catastrophic, but with 35 seconds, they kind of have to go. They've got no info towards B, so they are going to be funneled into the brunt of these CTs, and Fur is going to eliminate 2. Plucked away. It's just this long presence remaining, and, well, they're smoked off. They're section off. There's only 20 seconds, and they're about to all be done for. A flawless round for Imperial as this defense pulls back into the lead.
It seems like the slow plays just aren't working at all for TeamOne. Once Imperial gets settled in and they find the information, they are just shutting TeamOne down at every turn. The only thing that has yielded success for TeamOne on these gun rounds have been the quick hits to the B site. Obviously, you need to throw the change-up pitch, and you can't always go for those quick hits, but it's just not working out for them at all. And now they are going to be back to the pistols. Going to be 2 P250s, 2 Deagles, and the Glock. A lone piece of utility. That's the flashbang in TRK's hands. He's probably just going to try and flash IDK out and decides against it for the time being. Fallen's waiting here on short A with the op in his hands, then eventually falls back as well. Imperial playing a very passive CT side.
It's just the pistols on the other side. No need to get too antsy. The flip side of that coin, though, is the closer they can condense these ankles against an AWP,
the better.
The worse life gets for Fallen.
Yeah.
Oh, does he see a pixel? No. No, not yet. No information revealed just yet. And there it is. First spotted one. Fallen will move into support. That might close the gap, but oh, look who it is. Up by Optimus. Cello holding the line. And this laser beam of an A1S means that there's really nowhere for TeamOne to go. They're going to go down connector. Don't think that's going to serve them too much better. This is, it's not a round we expected much out of. And it's a round where we will get at least 1 kill for TRK. A gun picked up, both tight on the angle. This is a bomb plant. This is a bomb plant. What a spectacular fumble for the B setup, but no bomb Cello plant. So quick on the rotate, guarantees no plant, no money. What a recovery there for Cello. Thought that was going to be a massive blunder for Imperial, but no. Not to be.
Yeah, the Molotov burned away a decent chunk of HP in the utility as well from the remaining TeamOne players, making them much softer targets for Cello to deal with, and he denies the bomb plant and the additional $800, which honestly would have helped TeamOne a little bit because their bank accounts are going to be drained after going for the full investment into this one as opposed to being above 1K with that bomb plant. In the long run, that will be a difference maker as Imperial really have settled in to their CT rounds now. And the thing is, Mike, yes, we're going to see another full-on buy from TeamOne, but we haven't seen anything convincing from them on the slower rounds, and the only thing that's worked is B, so my guess is they're probably going to go back to that. Let's see what they decide to do in the end.
Default spread initially.
Yeah.
Actually, just the one towards B, so they don't agree with you.
Okay.
They want to go Fallen hunting.
All right.
Fallen hunting.
Fallen's hunting himself,
prize.
though.
It's a mythical beast. Very dangerous prey. Talking like a Predator situation from those movies. You're hunting like the most dangerous hunter. Fallen.
His instincts are good too, falling back here.
They are. Perfect timing on it. Pesadelo's found a kill elsewhere, though. That was towards B, so that might distract. That might split this defense. Fur's in towards the connector. We've seen him occupy that position quite a bit. And meanwhile, look at all the ground they're gaining towards A. Fallen's rotated off. There's no one watching A. There's just Fur and connector, but TeamOne's misreading it. They're going towards B, so it seems like Imperial have anticipated correctly. They've just left IDK up top here. And now they'll be headed into the reinforced site. Look at Fur. He's starting to get adventurous. He's going to go up the ladder.
So problematic.
This could be the backstop. This could be the flank. This could be the sandwich play that even shuts down their utility. Maluk's going to be throwing the nades, but he's completely distracted. Fur, though, picked to clear out Fountain, and that may have been the wrong time, unless Cello and Vinny just kill everybody as they come through Monster. The utility, the nades, the shooting, it couldn't have been better. It comes out perfectly. Cello holds the line. Maluk. He's found one. He's brought it down to a 1v2. This is a doable situation. The bomb's starting to approach, but there's an op just on the other side, up on the sidewalk. And here comes looking a Fallen who will find that final frag.
Again, it just looks like TeamOne second-guessing themselves, rotating back and forth, can't decide which site to hit, and that indecisiveness leads to, of course, their demise in that round. They walk into the stack site. Had they just kept going forward towards A, it would have been the right call, but just not making the correct decisions. It's as simple as that. And once they get into the fights, it's just all Imperial.
It is. It is. Imperial have done a great job of anticipation here. These rotations, I mean, they're taking big risks on their rotates, right? And it's paying off more often than not. Just pistols in this one. Connector play.
Nope.
Seeing if they can catch Fur. No. Not here, at least. Continue the chase. Pressure on. Fur running. Dipping, diving, dodging, dead. Mobs finds one. The trade is there, though. Cello's been up in time, and the numbers are coming through, and it's just not working. Bombs drop. That confirms. Now everybody's moving their way on in one after another. These pieces are wiped off of the board, and Cello with a nice 3K in it as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a faster pace there for TeamOne, but just with the pistols, not able to do much damage, and there goes another round in Imperial's favor, an 8th one, securing the half for them. And in fact, that is 8 over the last 9 rounds going to Imperial. TeamOne have fallen silent since the guns have come out, but they will have the full loss bonus now, so that's going to help them get the 4 AKs and the AWP. And, well, they're just going to go for a quick hit towards the B side. As mentioned, this is what has worked for them. This is what gave them those couple of victories, Mike. Or at least a couple of bomb plants.
The one victory.
Yeah, but the bomb plants, taking the site at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
They'll try it again. They'll roll these dice. 3 players are here. The flashbang is killer, but Bolts doesn't care about seeing.
What do you do?
He just wants to use the Force, I guess. Bolts is a Jedi in this one. And his lightsaber just chews through 2 at the Monster Tunnel. Nothing doing for TeamOne. And they're being read like a book. And Fur's just waiting. Just waiting for one more. And there's the flashbang. It's delivered. He's even got the bomb. Chewing him up in the trash compactor. Outside of B. Well, Maluk might be able to get a parting shot. But frankly, at this point, it doesn't really matter, folks. 9 rounds are what Imperial are looking at. They've been so good in so many of these that the bank has swelled. The cash is flowing. And there are no answers here for TeamOne. They've been stumped.
I mean, they really have been. Their T-side looking a little too light in terms of strategies. And Maluk is going to get one onto Fair, but that's just a parting gift in this round because 31 seconds left, doesn't have the bomb in his hands. Might be able to do some more damage, but it doesn't really matter. The economy is just, as you mentioned, Mike, flowing for Imperial. Maluk tucking himself into a corner. He'll peek around. He should be able to get another one if he peeks at the right time. There you go. Drops down. No third. Cello takes him down for the count, and the op lays on the ground as Maluk will not be able to buy one up here into this round. Imperial have a 9th.
Timeout going to be taken.
Yep.
2 rounds left in the half. TeamOne would very much like at least one of those. So a decision to make about whether they're going to try and force it here, or whether they'll just play for one really good round in the last. I'd imagine the eventual answer will be 2 force buys, but let's see. We'll wink at the camera there. But, I mean, Imperial have to be feeling great, especially after a little bit of a disaster on the CT side on Inferno. Here, it's been the defense that's given them all the answers.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic defensive end, but look at TeamOne. I mean, they easily could have forced up, no problem, and they would have had a good force buy twice, but instead, they are going to go for the half buy. and see if the pistols can yield some results. It's going to be a couple of Tech 9s that I already saw. I'm not sure what the rest of the buy will be. Okay, they have a Hero AK, 2 Tech 9s, 2 Deagles. Decent chunk of util. What do they do with this? I'm guessing trying to go for a quicker play again with those Tech 9s leading the charge. I mean, you could have even bought a Mac 10. Anyway, they're looking to get that full-on buy-up in the last round, Mike. We'll see if it's the right call.
Say they got it. Or if Pace can make something happen with this Hero AK. We've certainly seen the Hero rounds work out for both sides. But with this control towards construction, it's going to be a really good setup for Imperial. If this B hit does come through, it does. But Bolt, not getting his signature 2 kills here, might make it a little trickier. Vinny's throwing util from construction. They know he's here. The sidewalk play gets punished. Health is getting real weird for both sides. But the kills are what ultimately matter. That's a big one to find for IDK. Bomb going to go down. Bomb plant gets them more money into the next. But now they would very much just like the round win. The health is abysmal. The health is abysmal, but they've got the surprise shots. 1 for 1 there. And the remaining players, well, first gone. It's all into Vinny. Vinny can clutch it. 1v2 time against him. But 1 bullet will be enough for both players. The flash slows him down at the very least. A player behind the sandbags. It's a big spot to find for TRK. IDK dancing around. Who's got the first shot? Who's got the first pop? It's IDK! And that clutch will go the way of TeamOne. Just 1 rifle and pistols brought through, and a much-needed 5th round found.
Just the pistols again yielding, and of course the 1 AK yielding the round victory, and it was another very quick hit, just catching Imperial off guard with that aggressive play onto the site. And TeamOne needs more of that when they don't have many rounds left. In fact, only 1 round remaining here in this first half of play. They want to keep Imperial off of double digits. That is their mission right now. And again, they're going to go to the B site. You have to. That's what's been working for you. Go back to it. And Imperial, well, they're going to be waiting this time. Bolts might try pushing through the smoke. I'm not sure if this is a good idea. He's going to have his back turn. Good flashbang thrown. He only gets 1 out of that, though. He couldn't control his spray enough onto Maluk, and IDK gets the immediate trade. But Imperial anticipating this in such a very big way. It doesn't even matter, though. TRK drops Vinny. Cello gets the trade. They know where he is, but Fair comes to support at the perfect time to make this a 3v2.
2 players remaining to try and salvage this last round of the half. IDK's done that. It's down to the 2v2. It's down to the even situation. It's all onto Fallen. And Fallen, he's in heaven. If they can get this bomb planted, he's in such a tough spot out from Toxic. He takes his best guess. But his shot does not land, and now they're planting this bomb. He's forcing them off of it, trying to hide the information that he's dropped down, and I don't think they realize it just yet. But eventually, the ruse is going to be up. Fallen creeping. When does he get spotted? There it is. Now they know. He's playing a 1v2 against a team with information, and TeamOne will find a 6, a parting gift to take into the half. 9-6 reads the score line, but it's these next 15 rounds that will determine which of these teams advances on. It's all to play for here in the second half. They are fighting for survival. Will it be TeamOne? Will it be Imperial? Time to find out, John.
It was such a struggle for TeamOne to get those round victories. Honestly, they found all their success towards the B site in the gun rounds, and they needed every single bit of energy just to find that, because in the other rounds, it was very one-sided, all Imperial. And for TeamOne to find 6 out of that T side is honestly pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's certainly enough to make this a competitive one.
Yeah.
5 is that number you look for. 6 is, all right, that was a good T side. All right. I mean, admittedly, coming off of Inferno, T side dominance was the watchword of that one. But TeamOne, take a chance to do it here. Dancing around the pillar, TRK is going to have so much pressure on, but okay, that's one way to alleviate the pressure.
Wow.
TRK already finds 2. Okay, great impact in a tough spot. Gives his team a prime opportunity for the response from Imperial is to try and battle back in towards construction, but they can't find that kill on mobs. Him staying alive, him eluding them is huge here, and now, out from heaven, Pesadelo, and now Maluk. It's all into bolts. It's all on to bolts. The kid is there. He's going to have to be careful. He's just playing the tap, but he may not realize they've got the accelerated rate, and it won't matter any which way. Great shot on from Maluk. Another pistol round taken. This is now 4 in a row over the last 2 maps for TeamOne.
In fact, all 6, Mike. Just went back and checked.
6?
Yep, all 6 pistol rounds going the way of TeamOne. They've actually been really solid on the pistol rounds. Their stats, even on Overpass, I think it's above 80%.
I mean, they've got a bunch of pistol gods, I will say, for TeamOne. That has always been a thing. Even when they're struggling as a roster, pistol rounds are their bread and butter. Between Maluk, Mobs, TRK, IDK, I mean, they got some clickers of heads. Here we go. 2 rounds separate these teams, and a force buy here for Imperial will attempt to stop TeamOne from running this back right off the rip at the half.
Mobs already pushed up aggressively. He's got support towards long. Yeah, so much aggression coming through from TeamOne in the early goings, and they are going to fall off for the most part, but Pace is going to stick around. He'll punish for 1, but only 1. Gets traded up by Cello. Does a little damage to Cello before falling by the wayside. Goes down to 59. But here come the rest of Imperial trying to fill the gaps and take care of Mobs, who is going to tuck and cover. Here in towards A, comes around the corner and does get ventilated by Vinny's Galil. That's going to open up a little bit of space towards A. But Maluk, fighting from the long bathrooms, gets a critical frag. And look at how light the health is for Vinny as well as he tries to plant this bomb. Very exposed.
That kill at long, that gives so much more doubt into the mind of Imperial, right? That makes them so much less secure. They are able to get back into bathrooms, and that's important. But there's 2 smokes here. There's 2 smokes here. The first one's going to go down. There's a kit on Maluk as well. They need to get it back around from long. He's been dropped. That drops the kit as well. That could actually be a key piece for the low HP Vinny. Vinny down, done, and dusted. But Fallen,
can just stick this.
Wormed his way out towards long. He can. His butt's exposed. Fallen's got the line, and he's got the spray down as well. It comes down to the clutch, the 1v1, but Fallen never airs. His teammates bought the time for him to go through the rotation, and Fallen pays it off.
Wow, had the lineup realized where that was planted, and luckily for him that was the case, because the defusal was on, and if he didn't hit every single shot immediately, it would have been a TeamOne round victory. But Imperial strike right on back with the force buy round, and they get themselves up to 10. TeamOne, well, they're not going to yield just yet, forcing up right on back. It's going to be 3 Deagles, the 5-7, and the Scout. Maluk's pushed aggressively up. We saw him get a double Scout Colat headshot on Dust 2 in a losing effort earlier on here in the road to Rio. But this time,
not so much.
Not going to happen.
Not so much. Whoop. And this one's not looking so hot for TeamOne. They'll rotate 2 players up because nobody else was towards A. And Deagles, I mean, Deagles always add doubts. There's always a chance. There's always a chance that a little magic comes through, but it doesn't seem like this one's super likely. A 2-player lead early on. Imperial. We talked about the stamina at this point. It's midnight. It's past midnight here in Stockholm. These players, they've been battling. It's late. They're tired.
Even if you win here, right, it's still a battle, right? A lot of Counter-Strike left.
That's the problem with going down early in this kind of a format here at the Road to Rio. It's gladiatorial combat all the way through, John.
Absolutely. Asa going to peek around here into Monster. Fallen has utility up, but Pesa looks the wrong way, and Fallen will gladly punish him with his back turn. IDK and TRK, the last two standing, a nade just going to be tossed in. Doesn't really do much at all. Yeah. And now it's going to be
That's one of those situations where you're just like, well, I've got this.
Let's try.
Maybe someone hit somebody they didn't think they did, and this will do anything.
Yeah. Well, Fair should be able to... Oh, no. Fair goes down, but Cello will get the trade. Not really a big deal. Only one gun lost.
No harm, no foul. Yeah. A little bit of noise starting to come out there. Cello getting a little louder. He's about the only player who gets super loud right now on this team. So, you need some noise. You need some energy injected in. Especially, it's an older team. Maybe they start to get towards nap time a little bit as the day goes on. No, they're not that old. I kid. But sometimes you need some of that young fire. The guy who's never been in that situation before to propel you forward, to give some more spirit in, and wake everybody up.
Let's settle down. I'm older than all these players, and I do not need a nap time. Thank you very much.
I don't know, man.
Let's stop that right now. Bolts gonna be peeking around towards the B site. He's the lone ranger here for the time being, but should Imperial choose the B site, it might be the wrong choice, since every single player on Team 1 is waiting there, USPs in hand, which can be extremely lethal under the right circumstances. Unfortunately for them, well, they guessed wrong, Mike. Imperial headed towards A.
Yeah, happens.
It's a wash.
Happens. I mean, the 5 naked USP retake, though, that's gonna be a thing of beauty.
Oof, yeah.
It's going to be wild. Don't know how they're going to do it. Can't say I've got a strat in my pocket for that one. But what a crazy thing it would be.
It's just chaos. That's the strat in this situation.
Maybe if the other team loses their minds collectively all at once and starts shooting at the sky, we'll be able to surprise them. Psychological warfare, John.
Yeah. Oh.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, that one dink. Panic.
Yeah, look. It has to start somewhere.
Yeah, it does. I mean, at this point, you're just hoping that somebody's going to get overeager on the hunt and give you a gun.
Yeah.
That's kind of the ideal. Maybe Fallen double dinked. His gun flies forward and topples down the stairs. No longer a possibility. We're outlining slim scenarios here where something interesting could actually happen for Team 1. It's not going to, in case you were wondering.
Yet.
It's not going to, in case you were wondering.
They have no kid. Yeah, the round's over.
Here comes the motion. Here comes the play. Another dink on, so a little bit of extra ADR made for these players at the very least. But yeah, they got nothing doing. They came into it with nothing. They go out of it with nothing. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Yes. Padding the stats a little bit in terms of damage done, but outside of that, nada to speak of in that round for Team 1, as would be expected with just those USPs. So here we go with a more legitimate round from Team 1. 4 A1Ss and the FAMAS. They probably want to get that AWP in Maluk's hands as soon as possible, but as it stands right now, they just cannot afford it. 5-round lead built up from Imperial here as the Molotov gets tossed on forward. Yes.
Is an illegitimate round a round that's won out of wedlock?
How did I know you were going to say something about that?
Because we have a little bit of time in this one. We just got a reminder, folks. Everyone's got to take a moment to breathe. It's a high-pressure situation. It's the third map. One of these teams is getting eliminated. And we know how much it means to all 10 players that are in the server right now.
Yeah.
There's always time to just take a quick break and smile, especially when nobody's doing anything in the first 35 seconds of the round, John.
They're just chilling out. You're right.
A little bit of control being exerted there in towards Connector. They've got the space. Spam through the panel. Does nothing either way. We're hitting a minute on the clock.
Oh, there we go.
A little bit of connection. Fawn's like, come on, why am I the only one who got blood there? But they do have a little bit of time. The thing is, there's a sign boost for Team 1. It's all the way back on towards A. And since Imperial have taken their time with this, if Team 1 had any sort of information, they might be starting to stack a site. The problem is they haven't gone for aggression. They haven't pushed out into construction. They've got 3B right now, starting to feel the utility on A. Are they going to send a third player up? They're going for a poke-out monster. Not seeing anything there. Now they'll shift. Now they'll bring IDK up. And it's just in the nick of time. Maluk spotted by the sign, but no, Vinny didn't realize what he had.
Nice.
Didn't realize what was in front of. There's only 20 seconds, John. This is going to be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
The bomb needs to move on in, but you're out of utility on the Imperial side. You're throwing what little you have. If they drop the planter, it's done. That's all you need. That's the bomb down. Cello's finding a kill. It has to be Fur. Fur needs to plant this bomb. Maluk flashed out. He's just worked his way into the corner. He just needs to deny the planter. Needs to deny the plant. He's out of bullets. He can't do it. The sidearm comes out. Bolts has a chance at the clutch at the very least, but he's being harassed from both sides. This is madness. This is chaos. Bolts has not done it. Maluk redeems himself. He couldn't win it on the time.
That's the ace.
But he gets the ace to boot.
What? That was the weirdest sequence of events from a loop to work into the corner. A flashbang is thrown. They're all blind. He's walking literally blind into the wall. Turns around, is like, where am I? What's going on? And then realizes it, gets one, can't kill the planter in that situation, but somehow manages to stay alive long enough to ensure victory for his squad in that 1v1. That was nuts.
20-second execs are a hell of a drug, especially when everybody's alive.
Yes.
All 10 alive, executing with 20 seconds. That's why most teams don't try and do that. My goodness, that went off the rails for Imperial.
Oh, man.
They're going to be frustrated about that one. I will say, though, it's a bit of a Pyrrhic victory here for TeamOne. Only one player survives. The money is disastrous. They cannot lose here. They cannot drop this round. This is so hugely important. And Moms with an MP9 is going to have to be the impact player here because he's being threatened for long right off the rip. But no, Maluk distracts with the op.
Oh.
Does Moms get the trade?
I don't know if they know he's here.
Are they overlooking it? Having gotten that kill, they thought about it. The flank could be on. First coming back into check. He's down. The op recovers. What a snappy response from Fallen to instantly realize. You could tell he thought there might just be a possibility. But a 3-on-3. This round is still very much in doubt.
They've just taken too much damage, it seems, to continue that push up long. So they're going to reset themselves, regroup, and now
but look at this adjustment.
Their positioning in mid.
There's two players back up top. If they went for another sign boost, it worked last round. Might it be overlooked again, especially with the lighter numbers? Well, it won't happen, so it doesn't matter. Pace is rotating. At an unfortunate time, it's going to be up to IDK to make a big play.
Yeah, I think it's too risky, perhaps, in their minds, and they want to have a rotator available. That's IDK.
He's checking it.
Or excuse me, Pesa.
Let's watch this. Yeah, he is checking it. He's like, I'm not going to get caught twice. Come on, guys.
That's why it was a good decision not to do it, as IDK will be by his lonesome for the time being, trying to rebuff. Will they clear the corner is the question. Vinny absolutely does, yes. And there you have it. IDK's down for the count. TRK and Pace have a choice to make. Do we try for this? Our utility's a little bit light. We have a flash and incendiary. Well, Pace is already committed. He's going in towards warehouse, and he wants to peek out from Bang. TRK spamming away, just trying to attract some attention in his direction to give Pace some space to move out and get onto this bomb site. Imperial, though, are not moving a muscle. They're tucked behind corners. They're forced out of position, but they don't capitalize yet. There it is. Pesa makes it a 2v2, and now he's going to move on forward. They have the kit available to them. Pesa needs to find the frag. Spots on the head of Bolts. Gets him. Only one left. Fallen in the corner now, tucking himself away, buying time for his squad. Hits a critical frag. That's enough. Imperial are going to take this round, and Fallen also had salt to the wound with the 4th frag of the round for himself.
Time was already too late. Time was already too late. All Fallen had to do was keep him off of that defuse, and he delivered even more. What a critical round. This is disastrous for the economy of TeamOne. We painted the picture, but it's worse even than I might have imagined. And we're running out of rounds for TeamOne to be in this. They fought so hard over the course of this series. This has been a marathon, a battle, a brawl, whatever word you want to place upon it. They have earned their spot in this server right now, but that spot may not be held for long.
Honestly,
3 more rounds for Imperial.
I mean, whoever ends up winning this, like you said, Mike, I mean, it's just been an impressive BO3. It's been exciting round after round. I don't think there's been a moment, maybe in the first half, right, where TeamOne wasn't able to really do much in the early goings against the full-on buys, but after that, it's just picked up the same pace that we had in the first 2 maps.
That it has. That it has. USPs here. Last time this didn't go so well. Not fancying their chances with it again. A little cheeky spot out by Fountain. If Mobs is completely overlooked, never mind, he's been found. He gets a dink. But yeah, okay. That should be about the Fangs taken out of this round. It's the only particularly surprising moment. Maybe they get Bolts' gun. Otherwise, Imperial...
Oh, Bolts could go down here. They know he's here.
Feeling good about 14. Yeah, it was rough for Bolt. Gun picked up, 4v4, but seeing that many players, Imperial have to know there's no one on A.
For
Rotation's
now,
going to be swift.
It's quick rotation.
As soon as the smokes and mollies go in, it should be all good. All good. All good, John.
Oh, well, not all good at all.
Oh, not so good. Maluk has made this a little wild and weird. Where's the rifle? IDK was slow to bring that in because he wanted
going on
to
the flank.
save it. But now he's starting to bring it into action. If they could get one more with USPs, what a tremendous effort that would be.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. With that, I'd imagine IDK is going to commit to saving this.
Ah.
It was always going to be this.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little excitement, but yeah, in the end, Mike, you're right.
Ferg gets a 4K. Nice way to pad the stats against the USPs.
IDK could, I mean, saving the AK is probably more important here, but he could potentially try to go and get some damage done against Imperial.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Keep the gun.
Yeah.
Take the cannolis. It's the opposite of that quote. Just take everything.
Imperial onto 14, though. 2 rounds away from eliminating TeamOne from the IEM Road to Rio Americas, Mike, and keeping hope alive for themselves to make the major. Wow, we expected a much more dominant performance from them, in particular at the BO1 stage, but it just didn't happen for them at all. And now they're fighting for their very lives here on Overpass.
But what better way to build upon the story than to do things the hard way? To battle back from the deficit, to fight your way through. There's a lot to like about that possibility, but let's see if they can keep going here on Overpass. This round is everything for TeamOne. This round is the one. Do or just about die. You're going to go with do not?
Yeah, I was going for that.
There is no try? Well, no, that's true, because he's already qualified. He's over on 0-0 Nation, and they are going to be at the Rio Major. So there will be a try there.
Absolutely.
But let's see if some other players might be joining him.
Round number 23, Imperial looking for that 15th round to guarantee at least overtime, but Maluk has other plans. Ferg gonna go down. I don't know. I think he maybe expects someone to push up. Yeah.
He must have thought there was a player. I don't know what the tip-off was, but either way, back to an op is not going to help you duel it.
No.
So a bit of a misread, bit of a miscue there from Imperial. The slower pace has meant that they have a lot of things to clear. And now, I mean, even if they're coming towards A, they have no idea what rest in the bathrooms. They have no idea where the op is now. 35 seconds. We've seen the time get against them, and this time they're going to try and go in towards B. The spot for Pesadelo is going to be huge. He's already out by the sandbags. If he gets 1 or 2 here, that could be the round. There's the 1. Not quite going to have the second, but staying alive is even more important. This bomb has to go out monster. Who's watching for it? It's TRK. The timing caught there.
Seconds.
Fallen loses the utility. 15 seconds. I think they're backing away. They're pulling the plug. They're backing off of this one. TeamOne reign victorious in round 23.
Yeah, just a really weird start to this, like you mentioned. I mean, Fur thought someone made it through the playground, was trying to clear behind himself as he was going towards long and exposed his back to the opper. That's a shot that's never going to be missed by Maluk as he hits it, and the round just kind of flipped on its head after that, and really nothing found from Imperial at all as TeamOne take their 9th. Yeah,
the moment that ended it.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, from that moment, we've seen these slower rounds for Imperial have been really costly because you just, by the time you actually move into something, you got no info. It takes so long to clear that you're giving yourself no margin for error, and as soon as that first error comes in, the recovery's nigh on impossible. Maluk looking for a fight. He'll dip his toes in the flames to find it.
And Imperial are going to eventually flood their way into playground, taking familiar territory to that previous round. Hopefully Fur will not go back facing Maluk this time, who is again in that familiar position towards long A. 1:18 on the clock. Round number 24. TeamOne continues to make this one interesting. Once more, Maluk gets challenged, misses the shot this time, and he's going to have to fall off. A run boost, I believe, is what resulted in that.
A run boost catches him off. The other way, they executed it, but it's Vini to find the first pick. Mobs down for the count. It'll cost him much health. But health is something they're willing to sacrifice if it means kills. Now presence out here. Imperial slow down 45 seconds. And with the positioning in towards construction, we might see TeamOne come up on the flank before you know it. As soon as this util comes through, what are Pesa and TRK going to do? Down towards the lower end of the map. This is a big kill. IDK holds the line. There's not great presence in bathrooms. They still got the vision. The ops actually pushed up. This is so bold from Maluk. They've lost Pesadelo coming out of connector. But IDK still fighting. Maluk still making them pay for it. 20 seconds. They should be able to plant the bomb Optimus now. Oh, and Vinny, the timing is perfect. Catches Maluk in movement.
Man.
All falls to TRK. TRK trying to keep Imperial off a map point. First one's a freebie. Tried to play with the time, but Fallen will make sure he goes no further. Series point found. Map point found. Survival point found here for Imperial. They get 6 tries to put this away.
Maluk was just so close to punishing in that position, right? He spots the player pushing up, can't pull the trigger in time, and it ends up being the demise of Pesadelo. He ends up finding one, but afterwards, Vinny just with the perfect timing, like you mentioned, jumping around that corner as Maluk was in midair. So here we go. 6 opportunities at taking the series for Imperial and staying alive here on the road to Rio. Imperial gonna go for a quick hit towards the B site. Cello's already out into Canal, peering around the corner. A lighter buy for TeamOne. Money's not good. Cello is the first casualty in the round though, and he was the only one pushed up past Monster, so there's no trade available for Imperial as they continue to look for a way into one of these sites.
Must be these final hurdles that have eluded them at times.
Yes.
And this is not a hot start, but for recovery. Little boost up check. Pesadelo, ready for that. Come on, give me the shot, he says. Oh my goodness. He was prepared for it, but the problem was he had a FAMAS and Bolts, an AK-47. Quick shot there from Bolts. There was no margin for error. 2 bullets and he's done. But no margin was needed. Now, okay,
Trade.
Another 1-for-1 trades, staying even here, staring very messy, but IDK's in a tough spot. He needs the rotations to come through. They are bringing it his way. 40 seconds, Imperial could theoretically bail on this, but you'd imagine that'd be a tough call. Are they doing it? Are they rotating? Or are they just adjusting, bring everyone through Monster?
No, they're adjusting. It's too late to rotate at this point.
There we go. Yeah, they have to do it. They have to do it. They have to come on through, so it's going to be this tight fight. IDK close up. Mob's just behind him with the Deeg. And here comes the play. Utility sailing over. One last salvo. 20 seconds. Again, the time pressure becoming an issue. And IDK slipping into construction. This is going to be such a problem. They have nothing to cover this off. When the plant comes through. Oh no. The backstab. That's it. That's it. That's the round. They cannot recover. Imperial, once again, faced with the clock, will falter and let this round slip away.
Oh my goodness. Wow, what a play from IDK to slip his way into Sandbags. Absolutely
maneuver.
brilliant. There's no question. I mean, once they try to get the bomb planted with very little time left on the clock, it's just immediately punishing, and then no one was close by to the bomb to try and recover and get that trade. So despite a valiant effort from Imperial and a great shot from Bolts on the boost, they just cannot close it out. And again, TeamOne stay alive. 10th round picked up, and the economy is not good for Imperial, but they're still going to force up an op and an AK, a Tech 9, a CZ, and a P250, and it has worked before for them. Look at Malbs go. He's going aggressive. He wants to take the fight to Imperial. So does Malbs.
Oh my
and Maluk
goodness,
is down.
Cello.
Malbs has to be careful now. Pesadelo does get one on Fallen, and Malbs finds Bolts. Then another onto Vinny. 1 HP left. He is lucky to be alive and impacting this round so very much.
That's the bomb. That's the bomb. That's the moment. IDK was in a tough spot. If Fur had just continued forward in concert with Cello, maybe they could have overwhelmed. But the problem is, well, Fur knew he was surrounded. He knew there were players at every turn, and now his position itself is known. A 1v3, a 1v4 in some total, but 3 more required. Fur does have time, at the very least. For once, Imperial accelerated the pace, but this time without much success. Still with this one rifle. What can Fur do? He's creeping forward. He's stuck around in the bathrooms. He's trying to retrieve that bomb. But tied up to the angle, it's IDK just around the corner, and that will be an 11th for TeamOne.
Yeah, and because of that gamble, because of that force buy that Imperial brought through in that previous round, they will be stuck a little bit in terms of money. Loss bonus still isn't that great. I believe it's at 1,900, so going to have to, maybe 2,400, but either way, look, it's not going to be great for them, and they're going to have to go on an eco. I was right the first time, Mike. Anyway.
Counting is hard.
Yeah,
I never do it.
Yeah.
Whenever someone hands me change, I just go, yeah, that seems right. Walk away. Never count.
I always check.
You would.
As you would expect, yes.
You would.
Oh, here.
Just pistols.
Yeah.
They haven't been saving their change over the Imperial side. They haven't been counting. They've been flexing that cash, but Fallen is flexing that Glock. He's got an op. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. TeamOne, put on notice.
Uh-oh.
Anytime Fallen has the op, you got to be worried that something's brewing.
Malbs is trying to retake the space. Yeah, and he has done that. The thing is, Fallen's already readjusted. He's looking for an info hop to come through at truck. And, well, luckily for TeamOne, honestly, they're not going to try for that because Fallen would have punished immediately.
That scope, that barrel might actually be visible here for Cello.
It's possible,
no, they're not
but
responding to it just
so.
yet. Bolts has come up to fight. Oh, this first pick. Malbs gets
no.
blindsided. Too many angles to clear. That's the problem with pushing forward against pistols. You get caught off guard. Now there's a second gun retrieved for Imperial. Is there a world where this is the round that they do it? Fallen just on the other side of Dicebox. This shot would guarantee them a bomb plant. The CTs haven't rotated yet because they haven't seen the information. IDK puts that up on the ground, and IDK might be the one to keep his team alive, to keep them moving through this. Just a pistol on the other side. Unarmored players, rotation on, as he has seen that parcel of C4. 20 seconds, Imperial. They got to do something. It might just be die. But Bolts knows he holds one on the rotate, and Cello has connected. IDK alone, 9 seconds. He needs to plant. He has to plant. He's forcing the issue. Shot! Just enough time, and into the nook and into the plant. A 1v1 for Cello to try and close this out. He's got the op. He holds the line. Pesadelo is coming right into his crosshair, and he's got no utility to push him off. One shot, live or die, and it's going to be Cello to send Imperial on further on the road to Rio. They've done it. The legends don't die yet.
Just a fantastic series of Counter-Strike here between TeamOne and Imperial. Imperial finally reign supreme. They stay alive. Hope remains for the last dance.
Vamos nessa porra, lá no meio. Vamos, cara, porra. Vamos, então vai.